Good evening, warm welcome to the program. So, one more challenge for inventory management, guys, is if you have a long lead time from the vendor, does it really affect the inventory? Do you need more or less inventory? Is a question. So, let us try to find the answer in this session. Let me attach the screen. So this is session number 115. If you are interested in seeing our previous version, you can always visit the YouTube channel and there you can see similar previous version questions. So going to today's question, will vendor lead time affect inventory? If you have a proper planning and supplier is also complying with the requirement, generally it should not affect inventory, but especially when you have a very long lead time, then the problem comes. Assume that you have your vendor sitting next to you, uh, then you can go to the vendor, make him deliver quickly. What happens if this vendor is outside the city, maybe 1,000 kilometer away? Even if it is a domestic area, there are a lot of transportation issue depending upon what size of cargo you are looking, whether you can air freight or do you need to get them by road. Okay, then the fear builds up. Possibly though may not be required, there are a lot of uncertainty involved, so it tends the planner to have a slightly bit of more inventory. Let us see with some perspective, especially if you have an item with have a 6 months and above lead time. I have seen in my previous organization there were at least 5% of SKU there were long lead time, though not essentially from an imported item. Even for a local item, this could be possibly from a sole source, you do not have alternative. Maybe it is a patented item, so vendor is dictating the term. In such case, the uncertainty increases, because the forecast for a longer period is may have a longer higher forecast error, and demand uncertainty could be there. So there are a lot of indirect pressure can build upon the organization to have bit more of a inventory. And if you have item coming from imported source and similarly having a long lead time, especially when this item has to come from the sea freight, then you have other issues, not only supplier uncertainty, but possibly you have to connect to the correct vessel, and in the vessel you should have the space. And many times you may see that the containers are offloaded, especially when coming from select reason for reasons, maybe some sectors it may be overloaded, some sector may be underloaded, so you can experience this kind of ambiguity, especially when sea transit is involved. And possibly if it's not fitting into air freight, there is no choice, you have to wait and get for such items. Okay. And whenever import is involved and long duration, then there is a possibility of currency fluctuation coming into picture. Okay. Possibly you can see that the US dollar in the last 1 year has gone up maybe 3 to 4 rupees per dollar. And in such case, you need edging, means you have to get something additional in anticipation of increase in the cost of foreign currency. So in such situation, normally you will be having higher inventory. Then sometime we also do early purchases, especially in commodity market. If there is a projection saying that commodity prices are going to go up in the near future, maybe 6 months, 3 months, or 12 months, then the finance or purchase guy will try to get this item in advance. Okay, so most of this problem comes when the lead time is more. Okay, generally we may not have problem if the lead time is in weeks, maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks, then no big danger. So there are accompanied other issues when you have a longer lead time, especially the safety stock depends upon the variance. When you have a long time, 6 months delivery time, is the vendor is able to maintain exactly 6 months, or is he supplying sometime 5 months, sometimes 7 months? Number one. Number two is transit time variation. Okay, the item is ready with the vendor, but getting by sea freight, especially, can you get it exactly by 4 weeks or 5 weeks? It is not possible. Sometime you may get it in 3 weeks, sometime 5 weeks. So we are trying to build some additional inventory to take care of this variance, not only from delivery variance but also transit time variance. So there are a lot of issues which prompts a planner to have more inventory when the length of lead time is more, possibly due to some reasons of demand uncertainty or the variation in demand. And for this reason, generally, if the lead time is more, it implies that you need some extra inventory. On the other hand, if the lead time is less, then you can manage with the calculated inventory, whatever method you are using for ordering method or safety stock method, that may be sufficient. So you have to plan for this kind of extra inventory when the lead time is more. If you have any questions, you can type in LinkedIn comments or in YouTube, so that I can answer the question. We have seen in yesterday's session there were other impacts on inventory when you are trying to reduce the inventory. But today we are seeing in a totally different perspective on the lead time, how it could impact the inventory. Not only for interview purpose, if you are in planning for the inventory and management, this type of knowledge will always help. So if you can coordinate with the purchasing and the vendor, try to see how you can reduce the lead time. That's going to have a good impact on inventory management, so that you can eliminate some of the uncertainty or ambiguity involved in the long lead time. If there are no questions, thanks for watching. Have a nice evening. Bye.